Limits of indeterminate quotients. Evaluate limit of square root of 1 plus x minus 1 divided by x, where x approaches 0. So let me substitute the limiting value 0 and see what do we get. So when I put 0 for x, I get square root of 1 minus 1 over 0, which is 0 over 0. So we get 0 over 0, so this is in fact an indeterminate quotient form. Now it also shows that x is a factor in denominator, x has to be a factor in numerator also, right? Therefore we got this 0. Now we'll adopt the same technique, the rationalization technique which you learned in the last example, to solve this problem, right? So let me write rationalization once again for you. So these examples we are trying to give you this technique again and again so that you understand how it can be applied, right? So this question is similar to what we did last time. The only difference is we have in square root 1 plus x, right? Let's see how do we rationalize it, right? So in this case also, since the square root is a numerator, we will rationalize numerator, correct? So that is to be understood. And when we rationalize numerator, we will not expand denominator. That's the precaution, right? So we have this. Now help me. How should I rationalize this expression? So we need to rationalize numerator. So we'll multiply and divide by its conjugate. So what is the conjugate of square root of 1 plus x minus 1? It is square root of 1 plus x plus 1. So we basically change this sign, right? Divide by the same thing. In doing so, we are effectively multiplying by 1 and thereby not changing the expression at all. Now, let's expand the numerator and not the denominator, right? Remember that part. So limit x approaches 0. Numerator, we get a square minus b square. That is, we'll get rid of square root. We get 1 plus x, that is the square root of 1 plus x. Minus square of 1, which is 1, divided by x times, within bracket, square root of 1 plus x plus 1, correct? Now, if you see, in the numerator, we get 1 minus 1 is 0, so we are left with just x. X over x times square root of 1 plus x plus 1. Now x is a factor in numerator. It was expected since for substituting 0 we got 0 in the numerator. So we can divide x by x and get 1 there, right? So we get this as limit x approaches 0, 1 over square root of 1 plus x plus 1. And now, since we have already eliminated the factor which was giving 0 by 0, we can substitute x equals to 0 and get the answer. So we get 1 over, when I put 0 here, square root of 1, I get 1 plus 1, which is 1 over 2. And therefore, our answer is half. So limit of this function as x approaches 0 is half, 1 over 2. So have a good look at this technique of rationalization, and I hope it helps you to solve any problem with square roots. Thank you and all the best.